أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والأكبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another session of the Risalenur, and today our topic is glad tidings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is referenced from the Risalenur by Imam Sa'id Nursi Badi'uz Zaman, and the specific section we are going to look at today is the first station of the 20th letter. Brothers and sisters, as part of our daily awrad and dhikr after every prayer, and mostly the morning, that is Fajr prayer, and the evening, that is Maghrib prayer, we say La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika la lahul mulk wa lahul hamd wa huwa ala kulli shay'in kadir wa ilayhi al-masir, which in translation means there is no God but Allah, the One, having no partner with Him. Sovereignty belongs to Him, and all the praise is due to Him, and He is potent over everything, and unto Him is the final end. But, brothers and sisters, have we ever stopped to think about the weight that this dhikr actually carries? Have we ever thought for a second of the bounty in this statement? This is our topic today, brothers and sisters, and out of the 11 clauses in this statement, we are going to look at specifically one very important clause, which is La Sharika La. The third clause contains a bounty none of us ever wants to miss. In saying La Sharika La, which translates to without partner, we open doors to spiritual glad tidings which we will never exchange for anything. How is this then? What makes this statement this valuable in our lives? We are going to see how. To understand the meaning of La Sharika La, we are going to use an example of our modern leaders. We are going to use the modern worldly power systems. You know, brothers and sisters, in our modern times, and even from previous times, rulers and kings would proud themselves in not sharing their rulership with anyone, and that they were or are the highest ranking in that particular territory. But when it comes to controlling the territory, they would need very many officers and ministers sometimes, and they will need helpers and workers, and very many parties would be involved so that his kingdom could run, or that territory could actually run. And to access such leaders, we will pass through personal assistants and secretaries sometimes, and often numerous security checks. We would have to also book appointments earlier and so forth. By the way, even after all this, it is not guaranteed we will actually have a session with this particular high-ranking individual or leader. So this is the kind of hierarchy that we would have to go through to actually reach this leader. Secretaries, officers, security, and all that as mentioned. Let us now compare this situation with the situation we have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We then notice Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the interaction we have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the total opposite of the kind of situation we have with our worldly leaders or our high-ranking officers in our worldly realm. So, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has absolutely no partners in his relationship and kingdom. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has absolute power in how he manages his affairs in his kingdom, which is the universe. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no helpers in everything that he does. In everything that he does, he controls every single atom of the universe, we can say. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala controls every single creature in the universe. He knows where each and every single created being is, what they are doing, what they are eating. He has subdued everything in the whole of the universe and even beyond. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has absolute power. So whenever we want to speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is never said that we cannot enter his presence maybe and say we have to go through a list of officers to enter his presence, or maybe personal assistants or secretaries. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened his doors for all of us, brothers and sisters. So this is the privilege we have in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From this explanation then, we can understand the essence of the statement of La Sharika La. This is the true essence of La Sharika La, brothers and sisters. It is a declaration of Allah's infinite power in his kingdom and his absolute control of everything that exists. So let us look at how then this is glad tidings for us. Take for instance, brothers and sisters, if you had access to the most powerful person in the whole world, that you had this direct line, you could reach them at any time and they would actually pick your calls if you called them. This would be a very special position for most of us, that no intermediary is between you and the most powerful person in the whole world. You know, some people would do unspeakable things to just have this kind of privilege. So, brothers and sisters, if this is how we feel for mere human leaders or mere human beings with all sorts of deficiencies and shortcomings, what then should we feel if such privilege was given to us by the kings of kings, by the one who owns everything, by the one who has no deficiency whatsoever? What would we feel about this type of privilege? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it absolutely possible for us, the human beings who have acquired true faith in Him, true faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to enter His presence, brothers and sisters. And this is not just any presence, this is the presence of the beautiful possessor of majesty and the Almighty, the possessor of all perfection. This is the type of presence that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. Brothers and sisters, this clause gives us the assurance that we have the direct access to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the owner of all the treasuries of mercy. So if we have this type of access, why should we be scared if we have access to an infinite source of mercy? We can supplicate directly to the protector of the treasuries of bliss without interference whatsoever. And we can talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with no barrier nor resistance from absolutely nobody. We can bring up our concerns and our wishes and our needs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any time, and there is no limit to the mercy that He will bestow upon us. This is the beauty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, brothers and sisters. This is the kind of privilege Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. Honestly, if you look at it in true sincerity, you will notice that we have been blessed beyond our imagination. Brothers and sisters, to have direct access to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is infinitely far beyond the privilege of having the direct access of 1,000,000 kings in our world. Honestly, it's nothing compared to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. This is the glad tidings that we have. This is the assurance and safety that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. So why, as a human being, why would you ever worry? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is at your presence whenever you need him. This is more than we could ever ask for, brothers and sisters. This is pure bliss. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself put a stamp on this claim that we have direct access to him. Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 186, that أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا سألك عبادي أني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة داعي إذا دعان فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون. Allah tells our noble messenger, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when my servants ask you about me, tell them I am quite near. I hear and answer the call of the caller whenever he calls me. Let them listen to my call and believe in me. Perhaps they will be guided aright. As we have seen, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has opened his doors of mercy towards us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted us direct access to his mercy. So let us run towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us not refrain from asking of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for each and every of our need. This will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is why Allah did not place any intermediary between our du'as and his mercy. So brothers and sisters, let us run towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for attending today's lecture on Risalenur. I hope this was beneficial for you. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.